Welcome to Thursday's Market SITREP here at Top Gun Options. Matthew Buckley, my call sign is Wiz. Getting ready to jump on a plane here and head up to Minnesota for a couple days for a speech. Really looking forward to that up in the Great White North. A little cold. It's the end of April, folks, and I have to bring a jacket. Going from Fort Lauderdale to Minnesota in the end of April is not on my list of things to do, but I'm motivated and looking forward to working with some old friends. What an incredible week, folks. This rip your face off rally that we saw through the 50-day moving average on the French election results, allegedly, according to the liberals in the media, followed by just other supposedly great news. We faded the hell out of this, folks. We're looking, here's our weekly options trades for the week. I put on an Apple bear call spread, a weekly options trade on Monday, the 145, 146. Right now, that is literally at what, a 98% profit, up $1,700. Okay, and we could close. Let's close that weekly options trade out for almost 100% profit there, folks. Close it out. Why? You never know what's going to happen. Okay, with a bear call spread, you never know if Apple's going to come out tomorrow and say something nuts, or tech earnings after the bell get crazy. I would close this trade out and take the max profit. Also, our SPX bear call spreads. On Wednesday, look at this. We're up 70%. $975 in our SPX bear call spread that I sold Wednesday into that. We continued that rip your face off rally on Wednesday, and I said, no, that's not going to happen, folks. We are way too tactically focused in this market. And day to day, I said Thursday, the president's coming out with his tax reform, his huge tax reform, and I said, he said everything essentially. We might get a little bit more coloring inside the lines, but I think it's going to be sell on the news event. And I know it was a very tough week for a lot of my weekly options traders as we held on to these bear call spreads and the market just kept going, ticking higher and higher. I felt like Mel Gibson in Braveheart, yelling, hold, as, the British forces kept coming at us. And then it rolled over, just as I predicted. I said, this tax plan will be a sell on the news event. This rip your face off rally and the market being on record highs, it's not sustainable. And, oh, by the way, tomorrow, unless we get something done today or tomorrow, there might be a vote on Saturday to keep the government open. So the market really hasn't factored in yet, and I think we'll wake up to it tomorrow, unless we start waking up to it today in the market, that we might have a potential government shutdown. That ain't good for the market either. And most, a lot of the times recently in this market, we tend to slide into the close, call it. Why? Because people don't want to be long going into the weekends, man. Nuclear war, North Korea is still out there. We have a ballistic missile sub in the area now, the Carl Vinson Battle Group, the Nimitz Battle Group is heading over there. So don't forget that all of these other issues that caused this implosion through the 50-day and us to kind of hang in no man's land underneath here still exist, okay? So for those of in my weekly option service, you could take a 69-70% profit, nearly $1,000 since Wednesday in this trade. I'm holding this bear call spread right here. On Monday, I sold the 23.85, 23.90, and it's down $1,600 right now. We're hanging right underneath 23.85 right here. You could close this and essentially, what's that? We made about $1,000 with the other one, so it's down 500, and then we're up 1,700. What's that? 1,200. So net, we hit our mission objective this week. I want to average $1,000 profit per week, average in the weekly options portfolio. So if you closed all your weekly options trades out right now, the bear call spread in Apple, the bear and the two SPX bear call spreads, you'd be up about $1,200. So I am going to hold this bear call spread because I really think, even with solid tech earnings after the close, I think Friday, very rarely, especially in this crazy market, is going to be a rip your face off rally on a Friday. So, but let's very tactical into the trades. I wanted to put that out since I'm going to be hopping in a car here and heading down to Miami Airport. I don't want to blast that out in a text alert because 160 characters isn't what I just said for about 5 minutes. So as a conservative, as a fiscal conservative, this tax plan, it has to be revenue or net neutral to the deficit, and it's not going to be, okay? Remember, folks, this is the opening salvo. The guy wrote The Art of the Deal, right? So everything that they just put out on this one-pager yesterday is their opening position, which means they're not going to get everything that they want in that, which means the market is most likely going to be let down. And I don't think they get this done by the end of the year. I'm very bearish on this tax plan, folks. as a small business owner, I think it's great for me. As maybe a potentially evil 1%er, I think it's awesome for me. But as an American and somebody who cares about the deficit and stuff like that, I don't like it. And if you're a governor of like California or some of these states where those evil 1%ers do live, the local and state taxes not being able to be deducted anymore is trouble. And this really doesn't put a smile on my face that they're going to these tax cuts potentially could add $7 trillion in debt. Now, please, folks, I could give the Trump speech with the economic growth is going to neutralize. I could give that speech right now up on stage and convince you of this, but I don't believe it. So don't sit here and do something on my leg and tell me it's raining. So I'm worried. I'm worried about this too, folks. One of the reasons I will hold these bear call spreads, or the SPX bear call spread, the one until tomorrow, is we get GDP tomorrow. The forecast is 1.3. Look at these forecasts. JP Morgan. Yeah, folks, that's a 0.3. There ain't no 1 there. There's a 0. The Atlanta Fed, 0.2. So we're seeing a lot of GDP forecasts drop. And so tomorrow, if there's a big miss in GDP, I think the market, that's going to be another reason to say, hey, I'm going to take some profits in this ridiculous rip-your-face-off rally. I even sold another bear call spread in my accelerated retirement portfolio, the live trade brief we did yesterday. Pending home sales dropped in March, and we've been stagnant for 2 years. Kind of look at this. So pending home sales, we're seeing a lot of mixed economic data, folks, and they aren't good. Okay, and then here's your hypocrite of the lifetime award goes to Barack Obama. 400,000. That is not what I'm making flying up to Minnesota to give a speech, folks. Trust me. But the former president who allegedly hated Wall Street and a 1% evil and this and fair and $400,000 for an hour speech to a Wall Street bank. So yeah, Cantor Fitzgerald. How hypocritical can this guy be? Now they're doing his press secretary. He's like, by the way, he's got to make a living, former president. Same guy who ripped these people apart is now going to go suck on the teat, so to speak. The guy's just gross, disgusting, and a hypocrite. Liking where we are. I'm liking this peak. I like selling into it, folks. Very, very happy with our weekly options trades in an incredibly volatile week. So as many of my members know, I call these lucky strike moments, right? In those World War II movies where the guy just gets shot in the chest and the medic runs up and gives him a filterless cigarette to suck on, a lucky strike. Hey, man, on these type of weeks, if your strategic mindset and your commit criteria, 2 things you'll learn about when you become a member here, 2 things that we talk through, we think through before we place any trade, if they're still sound. And my strategic mindset this week was I'm selling into these pops, and you can watch the replays when you become a member of why my strategic mindset is this. And even with the market going up, you hang out. Because I guarantee you some of you would have, excuse my French, prematurely ejected from some of these weekly options trades, and I didn't. And throughout the week in all my live trade briefs, I said, we did the Braveheart hold because I said, trust me, believe the strategic mindset, and here's what's going to happen. And it did. So I'm very, very pleased with our trading this week. Like I said, if you think tech earnings after the close, the initial ones that we start seeing are going to be great, and the market's going to shrug all this tax stuff off, and a government shutdown, then weak GDP, close these trades now and take your profits. Like the guy in the song said, go on, take the money and run. And if my math is right, which political science, Navy fighter pilot is probably wrong, it's about net $1,200 gain out of those 3 trades. But if you think that we might roll over a little bit more on a Friday, nuclear war, all sorts of stuff all over the place, bad things could potentially happen over the weekends. Very rarely do we see the market catch a bid into the close on a Friday, especially with Apple. Okay, so again, happy with the weekly options trades. Now it's a pilot and command moment for you to make an independent fighter decision. Do I take the money and run on my bear call spreads? Cut my losses short on the 23.85, 23.90, and then get out of this Apple for a 98, 99% profit. Then do it. Okay, that's an independent fighter decision. Okay, guys, I got to run. Heading to the airport. I'll be coming to you tomorrow with my Friday market wrap up from beautiful Minneapolis. So have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I'll put out my urgent alert tomorrow when I'm up in the Great White North. So I'll see you later. God bless.